Being too old for Christmas presents seemed Next Fest our most anticipated events of the year, and despite my taste being less varied than a panda, I still find great novelty in games that do something I haven't seen before. During this Next Fest, I downloaded 83 demos. I'd say I give a fair shake to about 70 of them, and of those I would consider 17 of them good enough to warrant a recommendation. But for this video, I choose to focus on the most promising of those titles which I've discovered because of Next Fest. And barring some seriously negative reviews at launch, I do plan to buy all of these titles when they are released, because despite my enormous backlog, I want to support creators who I believe have made something of high merit. Coven is a boomer shooter in the graphical style of early 3D titles like Quake, Unreal, or Half-Life, featuring a mix of firearms, melee, and magic options. Continuing straight from the main menu, we begin with a good old-fashioned witch burning. Unfortunately, the witch being burned is you. In contrast to real life, this did not solve the witch issue, as our protagonist rises from the ashes to seek revenge on those who had slain her. While it felt good overall, I was a bit mixed on the melee combat. Being able to dash in and out while charging your strike lended the player a lot of control over how they engaged enemies, which was very satisfying. And I was a huge fan of how abundant gore was in the aftermath, ranging from decapitations to total bisection. Though I had some issues. Uncharged melee strikes were pitiful. It felt like they weren't meant to be used, because to complement their noodle-like damage, it actually takes longer for your character to complete an uncharged swing. It felt like an odd choice. The ranged weaponry felt quite good. The pistols were weak, but they had utility in superior range and their ability to deflect projectiles. Shotty could one-tap basic enemies, and the double barrel chewed through pretty much anything. Although the repeating crossbow didn't seem to stand out, like the other weapons, it had solid sound effects to make it feel punchy. Unfortunately, only one offensive spell was available in the demo, and it was more thematic than genuinely useful, so magic's presence in combat largely remains to be seen. One last criticism I had was that the enemies are rather uninspired. Melee enemies just run towards you, and ranged enemies stand still once they're in range. They're fun to destroy, but not so much of a challenge. All of this footage is on normal, but hard mode wasn't too difficult either. Nonetheless, I had a great time ripping and tearing through the 2 levels present in the demo, and I'll be happy to try out the full game. Rusted Moss is a very competent Metroidvania with one killer mechanic, a bungee grappling hook. Now, it's not like they lucked into it. They referred to the game as a Grapplevania previously, and they did a great job building the game around it. Combat was something I really enjoyed and felt was well designed. Being able to jump around and position yourself while blasting away at foes was very fun. The first of 2 weapons in the demo was a rifle that allowed you to charge a powerful burst shot, which supported this style of gameplay perfectly. Exploring the map and figuring out how to traverse the world with a grappling hook was a treat. They did a good job getting me excited to see what they'll have in store for the full game. The little challenge platforming sections I found were quite fun to go through as well. This is all rounded out by a unique setting which compelled me to keep moving forward. The larger story at play is a declining humanity, some disaster having befallen them before our game's events, leaving the remnants just hanging on to what they have left. Our character is not interested in helping with that whatsoever, as she's not a human, but Fae, and this universe doesn't have the cute, giggly kind of fairy. Byrne's role in this is to collect pieces of Titania to restore her and bring about a new age for the Fae race. The Steam page indicates multiple endings, so I assume you will be given the choice to side with or against humanity. With the character dialogue I've seen in the demo, I do not believe this will be a one-sided choice. While I'm not concerned with good or evil in a video game, I do believe there will be some thoughtful storytelling, which is really just stacking W's at this point. Zipping around like a mini Spider-Man was already enough to sell me. Spirited Thief is a turn-based strategy stealth game. It isn't the first of its kind, but the only other title I'm aware of with the same genre combination is Invisible Ink. Though I have not played it, so I can't make a direct comparison. Each mission starts with scouting around the map conducted by the main character's friendly spirit, Trin, whom you use to learn the location of keys and doors they unlock, the layout of the guards, the treasure room, as well as hidden passages unlocked by Trin during this exploration phase, leading to some of the most valuable loot. After your scouting is completed, you sneak your way through the level with the corporeal half of your roguish duo, the Lodge, as quickly as you can, since once you enter, you will trigger an alarm. The more turns it takes for you to complete the mission, the more guards begin to patrol, making it more difficult to evade detection. This duo does become a trio by the end of the demo, and from the trailers, I assume there will be additional companion options as you go further in the game. Each character you can control, including Trin, has 2 ability slots, with a wide variety of effects to help you on your heist, such as being able to track a guard's movements when they're out of vision, or a single turn invisibility potion to cross through their line of sight, with additional skills purchasable via the gold you've snatched from previous missions. Spirited Thief does a masterful job of giving you all the information you need to succeed and letting you work out how to put it all together. The act of planning out how I'm going to beat a level and then executing it was immensely satisfying. In just an hour of playtime, it engaged me more than most games ever have. Speedonauts is a skiing jetpack speedrun game. It has 30 levels of increasing difficulty, as well as a level creation tool, which I didn't take the time to mess around with. Being a game aimed at mastery, Speedonauts' biggest advantage is that it doesn't demand that much time. Owed to its tight level design, most of the tracks can be completed in 15 seconds or less. It was very easy for me to try over and over again to get that perfect run. In playing for about an hour, I was able to see a demonstrable difference in my skill. The controls are really easy to get a hang of, only needing 5 buttons, 2 for movement, 1 for jetpack, skis, and quick reset. It's really easy to pick up and start feeling out how to play the game. The experience of carrying momentum from one segment to the next was incredibly satisfying. One aspect I really love, which could easily be overlooked, is the sound design. Strong background music, crisp sound of snow landing perfectly out of a jump, and the resonant chime from passing a checkpoint at record speed. Speedonauts found its way into the perfectionist part of my brain that can't be conveyed with a short clip. It was a well-crafted game top to bottom. It's not for everyone, but it absolutely deserves a shot. I'll also give a short word for 3 games I was excited for prior to Next Fest. Phantom Brigade isn't really a new title, as it has been out on Epic Games Store for a year, but this is my first time playing it, and the demo played exceptionally well. With my love of strategy games, I anticipate getting fully engrossed in this one sometime in the next 4 years. System Shock Remake was everything I wanted it to be. The smoothness of the UI impressed me a lot, and it was really fun to explore the station. I had wanted to check out the original games, but seeing news of the remake, I decided to wait on that, and I think I made the right choice. Gestalt Steam and Cinder is a title I've been waiting on for years. It was a little heavy on the dialogue for demo, but the gameplay was super smooth with a great moveset. Met my expectations and will remain one of my most anticipated releases. And if you are interested in trying out any of these games yourself, all of the demos are still available on their respective Steam pages, which I will be including in the description. With those, I leave a link to my second channel where I'll be uploading my playthrough of the demos, as well as some runs of Speedonaut levels and other things probably. In terms of future videos on this channel, I do plan to do reviews of 2 games I loved from previous Next Fest, which will be releasing this month. Vernal Edge on the 14th and Dredge on the 30th. I also plan to make an end of winter 2023 anime wrap-up video, and I expect that to take priority over Dredge. But even if it takes some time, I still plan to make a video on it. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you there.